Daisy Allen, and today I will be persuading you all to join me in stopping the shaming against those who breastfeed. I know a lot of you watch a lot of TV, so you probably know where I'm about to go with this. Hungry?
Why wait?
Grab a Snickers. Stop. Wait before you eat that. I want you to eat that when you're alone. How many of you all agree with this decision? Okay, so the audience is split. The percentage is about the same as those percentages of those who have a problem with breastfeeding in public. According to information found on the ABC News website, 57% of the public are uncomfortable with public breastfeeding. 42 states have laws protecting a woman's right to breastfeed in public. Breastfeeding is so beneficial, yet it's surrounded by so much controversy. Today, I will speak to you about the perception of breastfeeding and the need for it to be accepted in our society. Breastfeeding is not as socially normal as it used to be. According to the National Center for Biotechnology Information, a study analyzed shows that only 43% of U.S. adults believe that women should have the right to breastfeed in public places. There needs to be a change to this negative perception of public breastfeeding in our society. People need to realize that breastfeeding is positive and is no different than a mother showing love to her baby enough to want to provide him or her with the natural, necessary nutrients. While reading an article on the Huffington Post from a mother who was approached while breastfeeding in public, something she said stood out to me. She said, breastfeeding is best, but if we don't all support it, which means reacting to it no differently than we would react to the sight of a mother hugging her child, then there will continue to be women who are unable to meet their breastfeeding goals. Here, you see me holding my baby. Here, nobody would probably have a problem seeing this in public. Here, I'm breastfeeding my baby, and a lot of people will probably have problems with that based off the statistics that I found online. I asked a few people their views on breastfeeding in public. One male stated that he didn't have a problem with breastfeeding per se, but he did have a problem. Well, he would kind of wonder why they're doing that here. Can they go somewhere else and do that? But once he became a parent himself, he said that he better understood the need to immediately feed a baby who's crying, because babies wake up at some of the most inconvenient times, crying, hungry. As a parent, you have to meet those needs. Another part of the problem in our society is that breasts are widely viewed as sexual. A lot of people are more comfortable seeing breasts exposed in a commercial to sell beer, but they're disgusted when they see a minimally exposed breast or see none of the breast at all, but know that underneath it, the cover, there's a baby that's being fed. So here it says, it doesn't matter what you see. What's important is what it is. What's important is the beer. So this is really a beer cup with a little handle, but up here it looks like a breast. And you see this ad. Here it says nice cans, but it's talking about the beer. But of course you see the cans that people refer to breast. Here, bigger is better. Don't you agree? We've got big beers, big meals, and big ... fun. Hashtag beer. In this picture, this will probably be a problem. You see a mother breastfeeding her twins. See a little exposed boobs. Here, you don't see anything. I also have a cover that I used when I was breastfeeding in public. And you just basically put it around your neck, put the baby underneath, breastfeed. You don't see anything. But people still had a problem with it. So, I want you to ask yourself, how do we become so accepting of exploiting breasts for advertisement, yet we have an issue when it is used for its intended purpose? So many babies are being deprived of getting the necessary nutrients from a mother due to the mother being too embarrassed to breastfeed. The change starts with you. You have the ability to open at least one person's eyes to accepting breastfeeding. You can start by educating yourself on the benefits of breastfeeding and spreading the knowledge. And I'll give you all a head start and tell you about some of those benefits. So, want to know what's good about breastfeeding? According to La Leche League International, WebMD, human milk is species specific, which means it is designed to provide all the necessary nutrients to a human child. It's also easier to digest than formula. It contains antibodies that fight off viruses and bacteria. It also lowers the risk of asthma or allergies, reduces the risk of SIDS, and can minimize illnesses in general. It also can reduce the likelihood of childhood obesity, and it's been linked later in life to higher IQ scores. Now that you know a little bit more about breastfeeding, I need you to join me in making breastfeeding more of a social norm. What I need you to do is be supportive when you see a breastfeeding mother. Rather than make a negative comment or a funny face, how about offer her a smile, kind words of encouragement, or maybe even a bottle of water. If you're with someone who makes such remarks, or you witness someone else being rude, speak up in defense of that mother and her child. Enlighten that person on how beneficial breastfeeding is, but of course, do not do this in an aggressive manner. Some of you are probably thinking, well, I don't have kids, I'm not breastfeeding, so what difference does this make in my life? Well, think about this. You go to a restaurant, order a nice, hot, delicious meal, and when the waiter brings it out to you, he brings it and serves it to you in the bathroom stall. So I'm pretty sure none of you want to eat your meal in the bathroom stall. That just sounds disgusting. So picture this.
Oh boy.
I'm sure you'll be offended, and you would probably prefer to eat your meal at a booth or your table. This is the same mindset that we should have breastfeeding mothers. See, the same concept. Here it says, bon appetit, table for two, private dining. If you have a right to sit down in public and eat your meal, not in the bathroom, then why shouldn't a breastfed baby have that same right? If a bottle-fed baby has the right to sit down at a booth with his mom, and as she eats her meal and be fed from a bottle, why shouldn't a breastfed baby have the same right to be able to eat from his mother while she sits and enjoys her meal? That should really not be a difference. I'm sure that you all have people in your life that you love and that you would stand up for if you knew that they were being picked on. So whether it be an adult or a child, male or female, I want you to imagine that person. For some of you, it could be your sibling, your child, parent, nephew, niece, cousin, best friend, whoever. If it's a child, I want you to think of this child as a grown-up. Imagine that they just recently had a baby and made a decision to breastfeed. If it's a male, imagine that that person's significant other just had a baby and wanted to breastfeed. So how would you feel if you found out that that person was being shamed while they made a decision to feed their child, their hungry child, while out and about taking care of business? Would you rather that person not go on with their life because they had a baby and just stay at home so they could breastfeed this child? Or would you rather them to be able to still live their life while adjusting to having a new baby and being able to include that baby in their life as they go out and about? I'm sure you would probably want them to be happy and able to do those things. If you fail to be proactive, you are a part of the problem. If nothing is done now, in years to come, it could get worse. This shaming could cause the breastfeeding numbers to continuously go down, which will lead to an increase in SIDS deaths, obesity, lower IQ, and more sick babies. So here you see, for society, this woman is breastfeeding at her college graduation. Some of the names she got called were ratchet, ghetto, tasteless, inappropriate, should have covered up, nasty, she's attention-seeking, or stupid. Here you have Rihanna wearing this see-through fishnet dress with her boobs exposed, but it says she's expressing herself: sexy, bold, gorgeous, beautiful, elegant, stylish, different. So now I want you to imagine that same person that you were imagining as an adult, and they choose to breastfeed. You probably want your loved one to feel comfortable while taking care of their baby. If we start standing up for it now, maybe years down the line, society will have changed overall the views on breastfeeding. Hopefully, it will be something that is more commonly accepted and encouraged, just the same as how formula feeding is advertised nowadays. There's so many advertisements for formulas and commercials, and you see it in the store, all in the baby section. It takes away from the thought of breastfeeding because it's out of sight, out of mind. So I know that I would feel much more comfortable knowing that my daughter was able to run her errands, browse the mall, or go see a movie, and not have to worry about being attacked for taking a break to go feed her child. I would also be happy to know that my future grandchildren will have a slimmer chance of dying from SIDS, a greater chance of being healthier and smarter, all because breastfeeding is more commonly accepted down the line. Let's think of a world where our future grands and great-grands are very smart, successful, and healthy. Obesity rates are high right now, but that can change for our future, and you all could be that change. So, in conclusion, once you leave here today, I want you to remember what you've learned. Whenever you see someone breastfeeding, picture that as your daughter or whoever that family member is that you thought of. And I want you to react to them as you will want them to be reacted to. If you know someone who is pregnant or planning to become pregnant, try to speak with them about breastfeeding. Ask her if she's thought about which option she's going to use to feed her child, whether it be breastfeeding or formula feeding. Share with her some of the benefits that you learned about it, and also encourage her to maybe do a little research on the benefits of breastfeeding. Be encouraging and spread the word. However, do not become what you are against. You don't want to speak negatively to those who choose not to breastfeed and then become the opposite problem, the same as people who pick on people who choose to breastfeed. So you want to be open-minded, but try to share those benefits and persuade a little bit, but you can't force anybody to do anything because it's ultimately their own decision. We want for breastfeeding to be socially accepted, just as formula feeding is, but you don't want to put someone else down because they don't believe what you believe. So just want to spread the knowledge. Today, I've spoken to you about the importance of breastfeeding and the need for it to be accepted in our society. I have started taking action by sharing what I know with all of you. So now it's your turn. So, what are you going to do?